I haven't sent us back in time. I realize. It says November 3rd. It is November 7th. We have not fallen all the way back to November 3rd. So don't worry. No, daylight savings is not that extreme. So stop, listen, and collaborate, creating an experience first content strategy. Is this how we do it? I did it. Okay. Right, so who doesn't know who this is? Anybody? Nobody? I can explain. Okay. You got it? We got this? Okay. So vanilla ice. What does vanilla ice have to do with content strategy? Literally nothing. Although I will say that the content of this statement has always bothered me. How are you supposed to collaborate with someone if you haven't stopped to listen to what they have to say and understand their point of view and their perspective? It simply doesn't feel possible to me. So I thought that I would start by kind of editing that statement. Oh, wrong way. Oh my gosh, seriously. All right. So the proofreaders among us will appreciate what I have done here. Basically, I feel like we need to stop, comma, take a minute, and then listen first. So that then we can collaborate with our stakeholders. And the people that we're working with. And that's kind of the basis of what I call an experience first content strategy. So what is experience? First content strategy. It's about leveraging your internal partnership and areas of expertise in order to make sure that you're delivering the right information to the right people at the right time along the customer journey in order to drive preference for your products and services and meet your business goals. Pretty simple, right? I feel like everyone's been kind of talking about customer experience. And how that works. And for me, it's about kind of bringing that perspective into how we create content, how we manage content. And how we plan for its creation. And reuse. So recurring theme at this conference, as well as every other content strategy conference I have attended. Is this question. Has everyone asked this question before? Of themselves, of others? Right? I know it's important. Why doesn't everyone? everybody else know this? How do I get people on board? It's that frustration, right? So what I want to talk about around creating an experience first content strategy is how you can leverage these 3 steps in order to work with specific people around your organization or
Am I coming through now? Am I live? I am hoping that this is all working now. And I'm going to proceed on the assumption that it is. I realize that I'm butting right up against coffee break, so I'm going to be extra quick. I will apologize in advance if you suddenly hear some drilling noise or something very distracting. The building I've just moved into here in sunny Victoria, British Columbia, is apparently under construction still. So but we'll charge in. So I wanted to talk about it, and then we have an entire there it is. We have an entire track in this year's LavaCon that is really zeroing in on information 4.0, content 4.0, and it is getting a lot of attention. So we're going to use this short talk to dig into what this all means, and easy to tip my hand to put it all on the tables at the beginning. It really comes down to the specialization of components and the standardization of interfaces. And if we keep that in mind, we suddenly see that everything that we talk about, from a 1.0 to a 4.0 scale, follows that model, that we are getting things to be smaller and smaller, that they are exhibiting more and more intelligence, they're getting smarter and smarter, and by virtue of the standardized interfaces, they can be assembled to build bigger and bigger things. So we see that in big cities. We see that in the kinds of software that we are enabling today. So let's just charge in. So things, I will give a little bit of context, and this will be a very brief recap of something I touched on actually last year in LavaCon. And I think it was really about mastering Content 4.0 and other natural acts, I think we called it at that time. We're going to use the example of automated assistants. Which of course are quite topical, and they are alive and well in the program at LavaCon this year, including an upcoming talk by my good friend Cruz Sanders. We will then step back and just think about, okay, what do we have to do to get content to be to operate at this level. And this is where we talk about engineering content. So let's charge into this. So context 4.0. So I've gotten completely out of control. Everything is 4.0. Car 4.0, everything 4.0.
Content embedded in something where it's going is whoever created
industry
Google Maps, because you could be in an app.
4.0 is the one that we really take our
Google Maps. So you
1 to 4 model from. And this is still a topic that there's lots of ink being spilt, real and digital, as people explore what does industry 4.0 really mean. And in a summary, it's sort of the age of the smart factory, the smart machines interacting with intelligent parts. And as this illustration tries to show, they get to the point where the parts can talk to the assembly line, and the assembly line can reconfigure to build the target product, which means that the data and perhaps the parts with the data embedded can be sent anywhere in the world, and that product can be built as sort of close to the market as humanly possible. And this sort of brings down the logistical costs of how do I get things from point A to point B. So it is, and it's again about specialization and standardization. These are our key words, and that we ultimately are trying to maximize automation, maximize the sort of the role of digital in the process, and we can, as a consequence, maximize value, optimize the value of the process and the resulting product. This is what Industry 4.0 seeks to do. We have an identical path for technology. Although most of the material that I know of that's been written about sort of the stages in technology, literally computing revolutions, bring us to the 3.0 level, what we'll call cloud computing or platform computing. And of course, I had to have 4. Or so I invented, more or less. Technology 4.0 and said 4.0 in technology is what emerges on top of the platforms inside the cloud. Things that really can be assembled from all that capability. And again, the specialized software components with standardized interfaces can be pulled together, and we can do magnificent things at a very low cost of innovation. And that's sort of the other thing. As we move from 1.0 to 4.0 in each of these, we see, we'll call it an increasing in the creative power of individuals and of owners, of business owners, to say, you know, we can do something new. And you know, reducing the cost of that innovation, simply because we can reuse so much that has been done before. And is now available, in this case, in the cloud. when I did a virtual visit to the LavaCon, LavaCon conference earlier this year, I tossed this one into the mix, the idea of consumer 4.0. Again, I find it actually a very powerful concept. And one that says, okay, we initially had customers. We sell people stuff. And then you move up this scale again, where you are giving more and more creative power to the consumer to sort of basically tell you what it is they want. First step is you treat them as clients, that there's a more complex array of interactions around the product and service. We then get to prosumers. And this goes back even 20 years when we used to work with large manufacturing companies or large telecom. Interest to say, how do we make our key customers the product manager? You know, they will literally be managing
Okay, a few things of explanation. One, that is Joe Gallner from LavaCon Las
the
Vegas.
gears
over Halloween,
that
so we did
determine what
a costume pub crawl, and that was his costume last year. He doesn't always often dress like that.
our products are going to be.
As Joe said, the very next session in Skyline 2 on the 23rd floor is a presentation about Information 4.0, a dive deeper,
the challenges
so to speak. We do have this session as a webinar recorded, so if we want to go back after the conference and watch this uninterrupted, we can fill in the missing blanks. I'm sorry about the bandwidth
but
glitch.
really it was how do you...
So right now we're going to go out to our breakouts and then come back for our Living Salad Bar lunch. Thanks, Joe. Okay, we'll do.
And thanks, folks. We had some trouble in the room here. We're going to take a quick break. David, I know that you're here. And we need to take a break. I've got to log out and log back in, so give me a few minutes. And